Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm here with Elisabeth Curiger, who is the co-founder of Pure Africa, and we're sitting at the new Pure Africa eatery right on the edge of the Zambezi River, which we're going to be showing you more of just now. But first of all, Elisabeth, thank you so much for having me here today. We are in awe with what you've done here. It's an amazing setup, and please, I'd first like to ask you about, you've come from Switzerland. What inspired you to come out to Zimbabwe and start a Zambezi cruise company to begin with, and then branch out into this amazing product that you have now?
First of all, welcome to our Pure Africa waterfront look. I'm really honored that you picked us as well. And if you ask me how it came from Switzerland, far away from Switzerland, down to Zimbabwe, that was quite a journey. It's a long story, but I try to give you a brief insight how it started. So I must maybe picture it out a bit more. As a family, we traveled a lot to Africa. I have 3 boys. I was married at that time, and my passion was traveling all the time. So, and especially traveling to Africa. I don't know actually how it came, but that's how it started. So we had a lot of family holidays in Africa. We visited all southern Africa. And then one of my boys, Raphael, he actually had a gap year in South Africa with a friend of mine. You actually know her as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
And so he was there for a year, and of course he also had school holidays. And on these school holidays, he actually came to Victoria Falls. That was over Christmas and New Year. So he spent here five weeks, helping in a little company. And he really liked the area. He also met people here, and he started already then when he was 16, 17 of his age actually. So he started having a plan. So the one day, he came actually home from his gap year, and 2 years later he went back to visit his friends here while he made during his stay in Victoria Falls. And then he was about 19, so he came home with a dream and a business plan. And that was that's how actually everything started, you know. And so Raphael said, well, he has business partners here, and he would love to have a boat here. Actually, the most beautiful boat, of course, he wanted to have. And so I said, well, everyone has a dream, you know, but dreams sometimes also cost some money, you know. So he came up with a business plan, and it looked quite good. I mean, I liked Africa anyway, and so I thought, well, maybe let's have a look. So we first came here, and we had a look what he really wanted to do, and he showed us also the boat on the river, and he said, you know, it really needs something else here. That was actually his plan. So then of course you have to invest some money. That's how it started. And he traveled often down to Zimbabwe to Victoria Falls, and the whole business started when he was in uni. So of course I had to support him. We started the business finally in 2013. It's quite a bit, 8 years ago now.
Yeah.
And we had a bit of roller coaster going up and down, but long story very short, I think we came up with a really new product with ideas, with new food offerings, with other level of a boat, not just like a catamaran and sitting on chairs. So we really had an idea what we want to do. And yeah, that's where we are today.
Yeah, it's a wonderful story to hear you. Of course, I've known you. Actually, I met you and Raphael, I think, at the Mikos Hotel in, must have been 2012 maybe,
Yes.
together with Suzanne.
Absolutely.
And you came and you said, look, we want to put this this cruise boat that surpasses all the standards that have been on the river until now. And I thought to myself, wow, that's quite an undertaking. And then we came to the commissioning of the boat, I think at the warehouse where it was being built in Harare.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to see the boat at the time, and it was really, the first bits of your dream becoming a reality. And now, I mean, we have it here in front of us and we're going to be going on there just now. But it really has, I think for me, the big thing has been how you have really raised the bar here, the afternoon cruises in Victoria Falls are probably the most popular trip on the river.
Yeah.
And for so long, there's been a pretty standard level that's been adhered to, and people have done well, but there was always this need for something to come out like what you've produced there. Now, of course, Rafi is back in Switzerland at the moment, and
Yeah.
you out here, so you've kind of swapped roles. How is that? How are you managing that at the moment? Are you enjoying living out here yourself?
Yes, I do. It's a new part of my life, actually, which I started a few years ago, and it was just the right time now to be here all the time. I'm here actually, you know me, I was traveling in and out. I was here 3 weeks, going back to home for 6 weeks or even longer. But since 2019, I'm really based here, yeah. And I do enjoy. It's different. It's a different life, but I was ready for it, and I think what I'm doing now here, it's really like, say, the essence of what I learned through my entire life, and it's actually very rewarding for myself.
Elisabeth, one of my favorite places here, believe it or not, and is your bathrooms. I mean, it's like an incredible design that you've got going here.
You get inspired, and then I was one day, I was in Bulawayo, and I saw these women weaving, how they were weaving baskets, and I thought, hold on, you can actually also make some lampshades. That's how the idea came. And they're quite long, but everyone likes to meander into the lampshades.
So I'm excited to see and to show our viewers the back of house, because you've been restricted as to what you can build, and so you've come in with a very unique way of doing things, and I think it's got something to do with shipping containers.
And as people in Zimbabwe say, you have to make a plan. So we made a plan.
A famous saying, exactly. Yeah. Wow, how many containers do you have here?
Yes.
Can you...
22.
22.
Yeah.
That is really, really creative.
You see here, these are actually the freezer and the cold room units from the back. So we also converted. I mean, you can buy them. That's easy. So
wow,
it's also part of our kitchen, which we need for cooling systems.
I mean, I know people are using containers more and more nowadays, to build their homes and so on. But I don't think I've ever seen it being used to this extent in a business. Especially a business such as yours, which is quite amazing. Now, just sort of leading on from that, being in a national park, I know that you've not only raised the bar in terms of levels of professionalism and the quality and style of your products, but you've also gone another level in terms of reducing your environmental footprint. Could you tell us a little bit about that as well? I believe all your water is treated?
Yes.
Or how does that work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, the container is one thing. If our company is not here anymore, we could just pack up and we leave. So
and leave nothing behind.
We leave nothing behind. And then, maybe if we quickly have a look at the water plant, what we have at the end, because we, regarding the black water from the boats, that's a big issue. Usually the boats, they just pull and the water goes into the Zambezi, which we don't do. We have septic tanks on all the boats, and we suck the black water into septic tank on lands. The one septic tank, they're all connected.
Right, so we are by your flagship, the Zambezi Explorer, and we're about to go on and take a look around. But you've recently done a full refurbishment. I mean, I thought it looked amazing before, but now you've taken it up a level again.
There's always something to do and do something better and have new ideas. Yeah, I mean, we had a year time to do something good during lockdown. So, and we did. I believe we did.
Well done to everybody who made the best use of lockdown. These guys certainly did. Let's go on and have a look. Yeah. So down here, I mean, I know that you've had a pricing system, and you still do, that's different depending on which deck you're on. And I know at the beginning a lot of people sort of kind of criticized that, thinking that maybe it wouldn't work. But I think it's worked amazingly well. But even more so, if I can just comment, that what you've done on the bottom and middle decks, which is theoretically, slightly lower priced, but to be honest, being down by the water, whether you're on the bottom or the middle, but also the level of furnishings that you've done here.
Look at the patterns of the chairs.
Yes.
They're real indebele patterns. This material, it's partly recycled, but also we had to buy new ones because it's a lot of work to do, and we had to be sure that it will be a bit sustainable. What it was, the new material was actually, we worked together with local women.
Okay.
We worked together with Greenland Africa. It's a huge project, and it was so rewarding, as we see now.
It's so impressive what they've done, and to know that this is all locally made, and the craftsmanship here in Zimbabwe is incredible. The view up here is tremendous. We can see everything. We're the tallest boat on the river, I think, by a long stretch.
Yes, yeah. This up here is our signature experience.
If you're a small group, you can come and take over the entire top deck with your party and have an amazing cruise out. And when you get back, continue the festivities on land at the eatery.
Yes, absolutely. Our new product that you can combine a cruise with either a pot, the famous poiki dinner. We
had one of the poikis the other night. It was absolutely delicious. You've got 3 other boats as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And those are smaller boats, and because they're smaller, a little bit more versatile, I think you do dinner and lunch or breakfast cruises.
We do all of it.
All of them.
Yeah.
A big tip, as we are, tour operators ourselves, like a big tip is, in fact, I don't know if I want to tell this secret to everybody, but for those who have subscribed and are watching this, you deserve it. Get out on this river in the morning and the afternoon. Take the opportunity to be out. We've mentioned that boat cruises are very, very popular, but in the morning, not so many people head out. So it's a special time to be out there. Good for birding, good for game viewing. Fantastic time. We've got a perfect day once again. Pretty much every day in Victoria Falls is like this. So Elisabeth, being in Africa, you can't have a place without a fire pit.
No.
And you have produced the most gorgeous fire pit here. And of course with the amazing view out across that river. But this for me kind of really puts the icing on the cake with your venue. I want to thank you very much for spending some time with me today, showing me through, telling us your story, and talking us through the journey that you've been on. And we wish you every single bit of good luck for the future. We're all, been struggling through these times, but you've done so much, and you've shown, really your belief in Victoria Falls and Zimbabwe. So thank you for that, and thank you for having us here today.
Thank you very much for coming, Luke.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. If you like this episode and don't want to miss out on other ones, please go to YouTube, look for Luke Brown Zim, and hit the subscribe button. Thanks.